Yeah, yeah. Can you tell me about yourself, Mangesh?
Yeah, so this is Mangesh. I'm currently working as a UI developer with Begin Pillars India Private Limited.
Okay,
So there, my basic skill, my major primary skill sets are like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Angular, TypeScript. So these are my skill sets.
okay,
So and I'm working here from uh, October 2018,
okay,
and my total experience is 5 years 8 months,
okay,
and relevant is 3 years 10
okay,
months. Like
okay,
total Angular experience, three
okay.
years 10 months.
So,
Angular 2 plus is 3 years 4 months.
okay, okay, okay. That's fine. Okay. So, what are the version you are currently using? Angular?
Angular 10 I'm using currently.
Current at 10. Okay. You have experience with the Angular 8 also, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
4 plus from flow 4 onwards I started working.
Okay, okay. Good. Okay. Can you tell me the what are the new features released in Angular 8?
Features release.
Yeah, yeah.
It's related to this word bundles. What we do, no? The bundle size is got reduced.
Okay.
So because of this IV compiler got introduced, so that work the build time is got reduced than before.
Okay. Okay. So, can you explain the different type of binding?
Yes. So it is one-way binding, two-way binding, and this interpolation binding.
Okay.
So interpolation binding is like suppose we have a list of persons
Okay.
and we want to display their names like full name. So
Okay.
we'll just do a for loop and we'll just bind that name in the interpolation in the HTML. So and one more type of binding is like one-way binding. It will be like getting what if suppose user is typing some text in the form.
Okay.
So that we will assign to a form,
Okay.
means for model class,
Okay.
so that we can suppose and then that same we can use to submit the request, like to save the details.
Okay.
And two-way binding will be like in the form of model,
Okay.
like suppose one way also it will be in the model only, but it will not be showing that into UI directly. We'll just saving. We'll be saving on the submit or save button click. But two-way binding will be like two-way binding will be like it will be ng model. It will be model ng model. It will
Okay.
have that field specific field input type.
Okay.
Input tag will have ng model,
Okay.
and the same will be shown somewhere as a preview. So whatever we type immediately that will be binded somewhere in the same page, like just for a preview purpose. So that will be a two-way binding.
Okay. Okay. So, what is the purpose of using router outlet in Angular application?
Purpose of
Router outlet. Why we are using router outlet?
router outlet.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So router outlet is it's for routing, like routing to do the routing. We'll use the router outlet.
Okay. So, if it is possible to using one more than router outlet in Angular application?
More than one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh no, only we can use only one.
Okay, okay, okay. So can you explain how to use HTTP client in Angular application?
In calling while calling the services, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. While calling the services, you are using HTTP client, right? So what is the purpose?
Yes.
How to use that one?
Okay. So HTTP client, right? Okay. So what we'll do, like when calling a service, we'll import that into we'll import that into HTTP. We'll import that into service file.
Okay.
This means import in curly braces HTTP client
Okay.
from the module,
Okay.
and then in constructor we'll have that instance variable like private router colon router. I mean HTTP colon HTTP client.
Okay.
So when the service call will happen, like we'll write a method and like get fetch user detail.
Okay.
So in that request URL will be this service URL, and then this dot HTTP dot get will do, and we'll pass there that headers.
Okay.
And headers will pass there. That's it. This dot HTTP dot get.
Okay.
So that we can fetch the details, user details.
Okay. So how can you read pull response once you fetch that backend details? For example, get response. So how do you get the response? How do you read in your service level?
Service level means after getting.
Yeah.
After doing the subscribe.
Yes. After doing the subscribe, then how can you read full response?
Read means like I'll assign to some variable, and then I bind that into HTML.
Okay.
We'll do a for loop for that. Suppose only whether it is one or more than one, we'll do a for loop. So that if at present if only one user's data is there, and in future if more than one comes in, so we can get it displayed by using this for loop.
Okay. That's fine.
So that more data comes, so no need to worry.
That is end of once receiving the response body. That's fine. Okay. Okay. So how you handle error in your functions or methods? How do you perform error? Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes. Try catch we can do, and suppose if we want to find trap the error. Subscribe itself. So we'll do that. Once this subscribe gets over, after that comma, then error. Error codes, and then we'll try to route. We'll try to console it. Console it, yes.
Yeah.
We'll console it, and according to that we'll have.
Yeah. According to the user experience, you can show in the UI also. Okay, that's fine. That's what I'm expecting. So,
okay.
What is an observable?
Observable.
Yeah, observable.
So observable. Yes. Okay. So observable is like at a time only one call can happen.
Okay.
It's observable.
Okay. So what is event emitter?
Event emitter.
Yeah.
Event emitter is like suppose we need to pass data from a parent.
Okay.
Child to parent.
Okay.
So in that case, we'll emit that data into. We'll emit that data from that child to parent.
Okay.
So that we can get into some method, and we can use it the main component.
Okay.
Parent component, not main parent component.
Okay. So next I move to scenario based questions. Okay. So in the backend call, we have received 100 user list. Okay. 100 users in the one single list. Okay. In the each user object have username, role name, age, or many field is there. Okay. So I want to grouping them by roles.
Okay.
So how do you make that scenario? I want to grouping them all the users by role. How do you write the
Okay.
code in the logic using TypeScript?
No. What? Can you repeat like a whole
Yeah. We
object is
have we
there?
have we have 100 users in the response. Okay, user list.
Okay, user list. Okay,
Yeah. Each user
Then
have
suppose
some user information like username, role name,
like
whatever it is.
first name,
Each
last
user
name.
object. Yes. I want to
Yes.
grouping them by role, like manager. Manager have 10 manager or 12 manager, whatever it is. Okay, like user roles have 10 user. I want to group them by roles. How do you make
Group
that?
them by roles.
Yes, by roles.
Okay, I'll filter. Filter we can do.
Okay.
Like suppose we want to filter by like senior, means senior developer, like developer, senior
Yes.
developer,
Yeah.
manager.
Okay.
Suppose 3 users are there, so
Okay.
we'll do the filter.
Okay.
We'll filter it by that particular role name.
Okay.
Suppose we have 10 people.
Okay.
Out of that, 3 are senior developer, and we'll try to filter by senior developer.
But we don't
So
know
it will
that
filter.
roles. But a number of roles also came. Okay. So that scenario,
Okay.
how will you make the filters? That's fine.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. That filters, that fine. Okay. But we don't know because a number of roles came. Then how do you differentiate?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need to.
So,
Yeah. Go ahead.
okay. We need to no. So first, n number of users comes, and we need to sort filter by row.
Roles. Yes.
So every object will have role, right?
Yeah. Every object we have role. Yeah, I want to
But
grouping them.
roles
Yeah.
can be
Consider, for example, 5 roles only. I want to convert some into 5 roles. Each role have a number of users. Okay, I want to group them by roles.
okay. Group them. Okay.
Yeah, group them, not filter.
Okay. Group. Okay. Group.
Just think about it. We have 100 users, then iterate it for loop, then inside some logic we need to write.
Yeah, that I'm thinking, but like how what basis I'll group that I'm thinking.
Okay.
That I'm thinking, like on which basis we don't know the groups.
Okay.
Group name.
Okay.
On what basis?
Yeah. Group name is like role name, right? Consider that one.
Role.
Yeah.
Role.
And one more clue, you can go to check with each role. If already role is there, you can iterate it and push it into array.
That is fine. Okay. But I'm just trying to do one shot. So array.sum we can do.
Okay.
Like specific role name I can put there, like so that I can have
that is easy. Okay.
No,
okay. At least try to tell logic. Okay.
Yeah, logic you want. Okay. So I'll do for each I can do.
Okay.
Iterate for each.
Okay.
So and I'll just try to find out the role.
Okay.
Suppose role is and for that particular role there can be a band.
Okay.
There can be a band. So let's say for some 100 users there are 5 to 6 bands.
Okay.
And on that basis I'll try to iterate.
Okay.
And this specific suppose for specific band I need to have a user.
Okay.
For specific band, suppose for band 2,
okay,
there can be senior and junior developers. So according to that band, I'll push it to a new means grouped users list.
Okay.
So I'll push that into an array of grouped users list. So in that way we can have this.
Okay.
Sorted.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So how do you define parent and child roots?
parent and child roots.
Yes, roots. We have parent,
Roots or like
we have
component.
parent module. So inside parent module, we have to make it different roots, right? So how do you make that roots? Can you tell me that attributes? What are the attributes inside using?
So we'll do this. No. App.routing.ts will be there. So in that we'll have each which we will have each page. I mean routes to each page. Suppose we have home page,
Okay.
about us page.
Okay.
So again inside suppose we have gone to a page
Okay.
like user details.
Okay.
So there user details. So inside that user basic details, user address, user like location, user work history.
Okay.
So those sub routes can be there inside that.
Okay. Okay.
So but main routes will be like about a home page, about us, like that.
Okay. Can you explain the life cycle?
Life cycle hook is like first the constructor will be called.
Okay.
As soon as the application gets once run is over, like
Okay.
started running. So initially, as soon as the application initiated,
Okay.
the constructor will get called.
Okay.
And in constructor we can have this business logic, like what we need to. We don't want that to be the part of the component. So that logic we can have like sorting, filtering.
Okay.
That we can logic have. We can call that in the main component. So that first it will be done, and then we can have the call. And then later it will be like ng on changes,
Okay.
ng on init,
Okay.
ng on view init,
Okay.
ng on after content init, and then few 3-4 more are there, but last will be like ng on destroy. So it will be called as soon as the application gets destroyed. ng on destroy. And this constructor will be called at the initial.
Okay. So, what are pipes, and explain different type of pipes?
Pipes is like suppose we want to show
Okay.
date. It's like date related information, like date related information. So from backend,
Okay.
Backend will have like date function, that in predefined function of JavaScript. It will not display the date in a date and time in a readable format.
Okay.
So it will be like Z, like it will come as Z at the end.
Okay.
So that format I don't know, but it will come as in that format. So that with that we'll not be able to show. So we'll do a pipe like date, means you updated date, pipe space space pipe space date. Date colon, then we'll mention the format like MMDYY or DDMMYY.
Okay.
So that type, like with that pipe, we can use. And one more pipe, like out of predefined pipes, if we are not able to get the result using predefined, we can have custom pipes also.
Okay.
Like we can have a filter with that we can filter the data, we can sort the data using that pipes.
Okay. So next scenario based on performance related questions. Okay. So we have in the backend call we don't know a number of objects. Okay. So obviously in the data table it is getting loading, it taking more time. So how did you maintain the performance in our application? So
suppose we have an object that will have a number of sub objects.
Yeah, infinite objects. So we need to show in the
infinite object.
Yes.
Okay, infinite object. We don't know the number.
Yeah.
And so we need to just maintain the page.
Okay.
It should not crash. That's what you want to ask.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
we can have a pagination in that case
Okay.
from
Okay.
backend itself.
Okay.
We can have a pagination. We can pass page, like suppose we don't know how much data is there. So
Okay.
let's say suppose in one page can fit 10 users data. So
Okay.
we will have a pagination
Okay.
there. From backend itself, we can have pagination like
Okay.
page number
Okay.
and page size. We can pass in the service itself, so that we'll get the limited number of data. Like on that we can increase. Like suppose we want 20. Suppose we have a design in such a way that we can accommodate 20 users data in a single page.
Okay.
So we can increase that,
Okay.
and as soon as we'll click on the each page, so we can pass the page size and page number.
Okay.
So with that, we'll have the data display easy.
Okay. That's what I'm expecting. So by default, material data table it's there, but it is getting too much of time. So your answer is okay. Okay.
Yes.
So have you used material design or bootstrap design in your project?
Bootstrap only.
Bootstrap. Okay. 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 So
Yes.
yeah. How do you create dialog box? For example, suppose error message shown in the dialog or success message shown in the dialog box. How do you make that change?
Like you asking the structure or
No. Dialog box.
like how I
Yeah.
like design you want?
No design one. I want to explain some tags only, like dialog box card.
Okay.
The
Okay.
TypeScript file.
Tags you want?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tags will be like
How do you refer?
form I'll use.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good. Good.
Either I can use a form in
Okay.
that,
Okay.
or else I can use model,
Yeah.
MODEL,
Okay.
model tag. In that, inside that, I'll have this form and whatever structure I wanted, like header of the model
Okay.
and submit button I can have in that inside that,
Okay.
and input fields,
Okay.
drop down also I can have.
Okay.
So drop down can be custom as per the design given by the UX team. So that as per that, we can have drop down, and we can have this. We can have input field, like we can detect the change and all that.
Okay.
And this we can have a separate component, so that we can reuse it. There is a possibility that reuse may happen in the whole project.
Okay.
So we'll design a single component somewhere, and we'll use that main component. So we'll just try to display it. We'll try to display that.
Okay. Okay. So, for example, customer asking some dashboard related things like pie chart or line chart. So
Okay.
yeah. So I directly telling you by D3 charts or I charts or many charts is there. So how do you integrate in your applications? Earlier you started only for basic things. So how do you
Yes.
install those configuration in your projects, like chart related configurations?
Yes, we need to have like if we need to use a D3 library, like
Okay.
the chart which we want to display, and if that is there in the D3, so we'll use D3. Otherwise, we can have that AM charts also.
Okay. Yeah.
So what we can do is we can install that library, and we'll see like how the data we wanted for the results to be displayed in the UI.
Okay.
So according to that, we can have a data from the backend.
Okay.
And we'll just pass that data to whatever predefined functions or predefined things we have in that particular library, and that will display the data.
Okay.
We just what we just need to ensure that we should have a data what the library requires for the results, for the information to be in the displayed in the pie charts or whatever chart type we wanted to show.
Yeah. Fine.
That's what we can do.
Yeah. Fine. Okay. So, what is a shared module in our in Angular application? Have you worked on shared module?
Shared module.
Yes, shared module. So
yes, shared module is like one module which can be used in different modules. Like one module, suppose let's say we have a session data.
Yeah.
So we can have that into a core module.
Okay.
We have, suppose project name is some project name hyphen core.
Okay.
So that core module we can have there, and in that we will have this session data,
Okay.
that login related data.
Okay.
And suppose once there is a service like there is a and we can have this reusable components in that module, so that it can be used in different modules, and we'll just export that whatever module suppose we want to use that into some different components. So we'll just try to we'll export it.
Okay.
And we'll try to import wherever we want to use. We'll import it there.
Okay.
So that don't need to do anything extra to call that.
Okay. Fine. Okay. Then so I think you have good knowledge in TypeScript. Okay, so
yes.
How did you convert a string data type into floating data type?
String into float.
String data type into float or integer, whatever it is. How did you convert?
Yeah.
We have a string, so like
typecasting.
Typecasting. Yeah, I'm asking typecasting. Yes.
Typecasting we can do, and the way we do is like suppose we have str, a string equal to in quotes 1 2. That is a number.
Yeah.
Because we are getting that from like that from the backend, but we want that to be shown as a number in the UI.
Yes.
We don't want to be shown as a string.
Yeah, that's why we need to calculate, right? For example, they are given string. We need to calculate some values. Yes. Yeah, explain.
Yeah, I'm telling you that.
Good.
So what we'll do is like suppose we will define a new variable like number equal to number of whatever the value number of string str. So it will be converted into number. So same way we will do for others like float.
Okay. So have you used enumeration?
Enumeration, right?
Yeah, enumerations. Enum type. Like by default values. Like we have
data type.
Yeah. Enum. It's a constant values. We can make it some enumeration values like country list or by default values, state values. It is not maintained in the DBN.
Okay. So yeah. Yes. It will be like a constant value, which will not going to change. Like suppose we have, let's say we have a number of days in a month. So that will never going to change.
Yes.
Or number of days in a week, that is also never going to change. So we'll define such things as a public as a constant, which will not in constant class, constant file where we have a constant class. So when there enum we'll use. So that we have a constant which can't be changed. Public static we can use.
Okay. So can you explain different type of for loop? So earlier we are using for open bracket something. So nowadays using different type of for loop. Yeah, explain.
So we have like initially we had like this for bracket I equal initializer equal to 0, less than equal to length minus 1 equal to I plus plus. That one way is there. Another is for each loop.
Good.
And one is for in also there. For in.
Okay.
Yeah, for in loop, that is also there. But that not being, I have not used that much for ink, but I have used this for and for each most of the times.
Okay, good. So in CSS, so
Yes.
how do you make, for example, we are using in the tab, okay? So each tab, how do you differentiate with each tab in the color combination, like first tab red, second tab like some other color?
No, I didn't got your voice correctly. Can you repeat?
Yeah. We have tab. You know tab?
Yes, tab.
Yeah, tab. Yeah. Customer asking to shown in the different type of colors each tab. So how do you make in?
Okay, each tab.
Yeah. How do you make write the code in CSS?
Yes. We'll have suppose each tab will have a unique ID.
Okay, good.
So with that ID, we will just give an ID.
Okay.
So ID equal to tab 1, ID equal to tab 2, each tab structure.
Okay.
And in the at the top we'll have that ULLI structure. So
Okay.
in that we'll have each ID.
Okay.
So each tab structure will have an ID. So with that ID we'll just directly pass the color in hexadecimal code. That's it.
Okay. So nowadays the using that LESS and SASS, what is that extension name?
Yes, SAS.
Yeah.
That is CSS C processor.
Okay.
So,
similar to CSS, or why they are changed the
it's
extension?
similar, not fully similar, but it will do what CSS does.
Okay, super.
I don't know the syntax much. When I was studying this HTML CSS.
Okay.
When I had studied HTML CSS, so later I just reviewed this part, but I have not used CSS, LAS and SAS.
Okay.
I don't have any much idea about it.
Okay.
Just I know like how it is and why it is.
Okay. So one more technical questions. Okay. So currently you are working in Angular 6. Okay.
Yes.
For example, okay. So customer want to merge with Angular 8 or Angular 10. Then how do you handle that merge in your code using latest
Okay.
Yeah.
They want upgrade.
Yeah. They want to upgrade. Yeah. Definitely, obviously, deprecation is shown in the code. So
yes. Deprecation will be there.
Yes.
Okay. So what I have migrated the project from one version to another, like latest 10 version, Angular 10 I have migrated.
Okay, good.
So as soon as we do that NG update, NG upgrade.
Yeah, okay.
So there we'll have that view child change. One error will come, and view child error will come. Then we'll have to write that static in that. I don't remember exactly, but we need to write static, and again some more places it will show deprecated.
Okay.
This only one thing I remember. Other things also I had issues.
Okay.
I encountered other issues as well. But
okay.
Just give me a second. I'll just try to recall it.
Okay.
No, this only I remember. I had others. I encountered other issues as well, but I.
Okay, that's fine. No issue.
But I successfully migrated from 7 to 10.
Okay. Angular CLI also need to update, right? Required.
Yes. It also needs to be updated. Yes.
What is the command?
Yes. Correct.
What is the command?
Yeah. This is the first step only. Yes. Okay. So from in the Angular IO, just we'll see that npm. We'll see in console like what versions we had for previously what versions we had, and for that particular Angular version, what are the dependency versions to be there.
Okay.
we'll just do the from Angular. So
Okay.
there will have a description like for which from if you are migrating from one version to another. So what are changes needs to be done?
Okay. Okay.
What are changes needs to be done? So that we'll try. And as soon as we do the ng upgrade,
Okay.
we'll get a list of errors. So
Okay.
one by one we'll try to solve.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, I just got recalled that. Yes. And Angular CLI version will also change, and NPM version also will change
Okay.
according to that.
Okay. So, how do you check like null values and undefined objects? Because if it is allowed, it is showing the error in the UI page, the console. So,
Yeah, HTML page, right?
yeah. How do you handle that?
Yeah, HTML while binding we'll do that we'll check.
Okay.
Let's say we'll do that not equal to null, and
Okay.
then star ng if
Okay.
suppose username not equal to null
Okay.
and
Okay.
username, then only username not equal to null. Just we'll put that condition. If username is null, it will not go inside. It will just go to
Okay. Okay.
other like last name and other details.
So in the UI itself, how do you make conditional types like conditional operator? So what is the purpose? How do you create them?
Conditional
Then
operator.
yes,
Okay. And or right.
yeah. In the backend itself, they are given dynamic values. So
Okay.
instead of it showing values, or either it's showing like another values, like using conditional operators.
Okay. So we'll suppose backend. Suppose sometimes we'll get a null. Sometimes
Yeah.
suppose initial load.
Okay.
So users data will have null.
Yeah.
Like username, first name, last name. It will be null.
Yeah.
So that time either null or undefined
Okay.
we can have.
Okay.
So we will check whether it is not equal to null
Okay.
or undefined.
Okay.
We can check like not equal to null or undefined.
Okay.
Then only we'll display. So in this way we'll do this conditional operator.
Okay. Fine.
And yeah, it can be used many ways. So this is only one way.
Okay.
We can have a combination of that and other things also.
Yeah, many ways. It is a TS file also we can manage. Okay, that's fine.
Yes. PS file also we can use. No problem.
Okay.
That depends like how we have condition. According to that we can use that.
Okay. So in the TypeScript language, it is converted into which language?
TypeScript, yeah.
Yeah.
So whatever code we'll write, so that will be into TypeScript. But when the comparison, it will be at the end it will be converted into JS only.
Okay, JS only. Okay.
So yeah.
Fine. Okay. So finally, deployment environment questions. Okay. So once your application development done, so how do you make build and deployed into like a cloud or AWS or Azure, whatever it is? Then how do you make your code into build?
I missed some few of the words. I was not getting the voice correctly.
Okay.
Can you repeat?
Yeah. Yeah, your application now ready. For example, okay. Your development was completed. Then how do you push into like different type of environments like dev, QA or whatever environments? Before that, how you should make that build? What are the commands you are using? How do you generate build files?
Okay. So ng build.
Okay.
ng build optimizer equal to true will give.
Okay.
And environment will specify there.
Yeah.
ng build optimizer equal to true.
Okay.
And dev specify.
Okay.
Dev whichever environment you want, according to that we can specify. And in that form.xml also we'll have this.
Okay.
We will have those entries.
Okay.
So that as per the whatever command will run, so with that it will give us a build.
Okay.
What we want.
Okay. So So what is the difference between package.json and package log.json?
Package log.json. Package.json I know, but package log.json.
Okay.
Package.json, like it will have the list of packages with what all versions
Okay.
that package is.
Okay.
What package with versions
Okay.
and which version of package is there. So
Okay.
that will be there. Package.log.json, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about it. Package.log.json.
Okay. Okay. It is inside there. Inside package.json, right? There,
Yes.
one file is there. It is once you install that npm install, it is automatically generate that file. It is related to package.json to package.json. All the dependencies, it's make it into URL like repo URL.
Okay.
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 Okay. Just awareness questions. No issue. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Just I'm asking you.
No problem.
Maybe many people knows package.json only. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's new.
So
Something like to know.
So how do you maintain your code? So because you are work with multiple developers in the UI, then how do you maintain your code?
We can use npm or git. So we are
Okay.
using npm.
Okay.
No, npm
Okay.
using.
Okay. Suppose you are using Git, then
We'll have that push request, pull request we
okay.
have. But
Okay.
I use long back, but
Okay.
I don't remember everything.
Okay.
Git.
Suppose you and your colleagues also using same file for started the development. Definitely, obviously, it is showing conflict. Then,
Yes.
yeah, how do you manage that one?
So we'll do. Suppose I have done something
Okay.
before. I have committed that code,
Okay.
and then my friend, my colleague, has started doing that.
Okay.
And again, I started working on. So he is also working. I'm also working. So when next time,
Okay.
next time he will commit. So
Okay.
I'll try to update that code. So
Okay.
I'll have the I'll have
Okay.
this conflict.
Okay. Okay.
So that time what I'll do, like I'll compare the code.
Okay.
Like I'll ask him,
Okay.
like what you had done, what I had done. We'll just try to compare
Okay.
what I had done and what he had done.
Okay.
Like we'll be knowing our changes, the recent changes. He will also knowing the changes. So we'll sit together and we'll try to see like what he has done, what I had done. So we'll try, if something is not there in my code,
Okay.
we'll just try to transfer it to my code.
Okay.
And in that way we'll match both code, both persons code, and we'll get it.
Mm-hmm.
And again I'll push, and again he will update.
Mm-hmm.
So he will already having what he had, and I also had whatever he had done. So there will not be any conflict further.
Okay. Good. So one more service related questions. I forgot about it. Okay. So what is the difference between put and post? Why you are using
post?
Yeah, good.
Post is like suppose we need to create a user information.
Okay.
Like we need to create a user.
Okay.
So we'll do a post.
Okay.
But put we'll do a post. In that we will pass some body.
Okay.
We'll pass some user data, and put I don't know like exactly what exactly.
Okay.
I don't know which I have not used that much. So
Okay.
I'm not sure, like I don't know full information about put.
Okay. Put is the for update. For same, if you are creating user, same user, you get the details in the backend. Then again, we want to update, right? So that I'm using
Patch we can use, right?
Yeah, patch. Okay, patch up. Put fine.
Okay, patch we use. I know patch, but put I was not sure 100%.
Okay, that's fine.
Patch will do. Patch will do definitely.
Okay. So that's fine. So I asked almost covered, I think. So if you want to ask anything, Mangesh.
As you wish, no problem.
Okay. So that's fine. Okay, thanks for spending time. Okay, so I will
Yeah,
update.
thanks.
I will update the status in via. Okay,
Okay,
maybe
okay. So
she
when
will.
I can
Yeah, she will call you.
okay, no
Okay,
problem.
I
Okay,
will
thank you.
update immediately. So maybe
Yeah,
she
yeah,
will contact you. I don't know
yeah, yeah.
when she will contact you. I
No
don't know.
problem, no
Okay,
problem. That is fine.
okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.